No, you're fine.
Trying to. Like,
It's okay. We'll start with that.
Let me get my water. Oh, that one tastes good.
Would you mind flipping that back up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Thank you. Doing great.
My name is Desirae Collett, and this is my story. Huntington's disease, it's kind of combination. What it does is it eats away at your brain. So everything that you would take for granted every day, the things that you normally could do, you can't with HD. It's a combination of Alzheimer's, can't remember, Parkinson's, and MS. It's all those combined. It's the same symptoms in HD as all three of those. I started working when I was like 16 because my dad didn't work, so I if I wanted to buy something, just kind of took care of myself. And so I started working when I was 16. I worked at Pizza Hut, and then I went to Glamour Shots where I was pregnant with my son when I worked at Glamour Shots, and then I went into construction. I started at a construction company as a receptionist, and I worked my way, not even going to college, but because I was so interested in just, absorbing everything that I'd learned, I was able to be a project engineer by the time I left, and I worked in construction industry for 10 years as a project engineer before I couldn't work anymore because of my HD. What happens is you get your diagnosis much earlier because your symptoms don't come until later. Unless you have juvenile HD. If you have juvenile HD, your number is higher, and you get symptoms when you're like 3 months and stuff like that. So unfortunately, I know someone who died and he was only 3 years old from juvenile HD. So when I was 18, I tested at UCLA, just like my dad. And then I started doing, while I was at UCLA, since I got started there, I also started doing a clinical trial at UCLA called Predict. And I did that for like 10 years. So that was kind of nice, to make the most of it, because I'm trying to make the most of it while I still can.
Does HD run in your family?
Yes, it's hereditary. What's so crazy is my parents, not my parents, good Lord. My grandma, she had 6 kids, but only 1 kid, which is my dad had HD. Yeah, but with us kids, my mom had 4 kids, and 3 out of 4 do have it. So only the youngest does not have it. Yes. So it's so crazy, you never know. And her brother tested negative, and then she's, it's your choice whenever you feel it was right, because it's each their own,
My name is Ariel Celeste Goldsmith, and I am the daughter of Desirae Collett. She has HD, which is Huntington's disease, and unfortunately it is hereditary, so I am at risk, and I'm currently her caregiver at the moment. I was exposed to Huntington's disease at a very young age. I think that's almost a blessing compared to other people who have just learned about HD in their family and it just gets all thrown onto them. My grandfather, before my mom was symptomatic, my grandfather, he's the one who had it. That's where she inherited it from. Around like 6 years old, my earliest memories of my grandpa was him at his worst stages of Huntington's disease. And so he wasn't able to talk to me at all at that time. He had very difficulty walking. He actually had a feeding tube, and I would watch my grandma give him formula stuff in the feeding tube, and I watched her count his pills every day and stuff, and I was exposed to that at such a young age that I kind of always kept that in my head. It really burns into your memory seeing someone like that.
I found out when I was 18, and my sister and brother, they found out when, I'm trying to think. My sister found out when she was in the army, so she found out when she was in the army, and she was like 19, and my brother didn't find out until later, until maybe right after my dad passed away, because we could tell my brother was having symptoms, but he was kind of in denial. So then after my dad passed away, he said, okay, I'll definitely get tested. So he didn't get tested until 2008. So that's when my brother got tested. First started feeling like something wasn't right with my symptoms. I was kind of in denial, but then my dad had really bad symptoms. So I was 28, yeah, 28, and I was starting to have symptoms, but I was afraid to tell my mom. I was feeling like I could tell, because normally at a job site I don't have to do Post-it notes. I was having really bad memory problems. I was having a little bit of movement that wasn't normal. Mostly the memory at the time when I first started, and then as I progressed, I got a lot of it affects you mentally, and physically,
Growing up, my mom I didn't start noticing symptoms from my mom until I was probably in middle school. She would still take us to school and stuff like that. She was still able to drive, but she was having a really hard time communicating with us sometimes. She was having a hard time with her mood. She would have mood swings all the time. She would forget things. Slowly progressed into my late high school years. She wasn't able to drive anymore. She started using a cane, I want to say my senior year of high school, to help her keep her balance. With that being said, knowing that Huntington's disease is in my family, it's been hard for me to deal with sometimes. I get depressed and stuff like that, and it's really hard to want to know if you have something like that, because even if you're not symptomatic, as long as it runs in your family, as soon as you turn 18, you're able to test for Huntington's disease. And the reason why they put a limit on testing, even though you have this hereditary disease in your family, is because it's a high suicide rate when people find out. My whole life, I told myself, as soon as I turn 18, I'm gonna test. And then I turned 18, and that feeling went away. I stopped caring about testing. I started enjoying my life a little bit more and stuff like that. It's still in the back of my head a lot, especially now with caregiving. It's thrown in your face a lot, the what ifs and stuff like that. And it's affected my friendships, it's affected my relationships, and it's gonna possibly affect the rest of my future.
I started smoking when I was 16. So I had been smoking for a while. And then I used to smoke it quite a bit, but then I started getting some anxiety sometimes when I would smoke. It kind of took the fun out of the whole thing. So I usually just do CBD now. When I was, before I had to stop, it was helping me a lot with my, calm me down, I was more chill kind of pretty much, compared to normally. Yeah, so yeah, I could totally tell the difference. Oh yeah, help me sleep, that's for sure. Right now I'm using cannabis in tincture form. It definitely helps, like Ariel notices when she gives it to me, because normally, as you see, my proof right here, I'm like walking, puzzle, trying to ever stay still. But when she gives me that, she can actually tell the difference, that I'm more calm and I don't move as much and stuff like that. So it definitely works.
So the second trial is itty bitty, just 3 people, so very small, but still important to learn from these 3 people's experience. They were aged between 30 and 56. They had a disease duration from about 7 to 12 years. And CBD was given to these 3 patients orally at 300 milligrams for the first week. And then they escalated the dose to 600 milligrams for 3 weeks after that. So it was a 4-week study. There was no placebo. And it was found that there was some slight improvement in chorea in the first week, and then even further improvement in the next 3 weeks on the higher doses.
My daughter is my caregiver, so she wakes me up in the morning around like 10. I take my meds, and then she makes me breakfast, and then we watch TV, and then maybe sometimes we go for a walk or play with the dog, and then eat lunch, and then eat dinner. When I take a walk, it feels good because it kind of lets my brain like calm down, Because when we go hiking up to Azusa Canyon, and it's like awesome because when I go there, my brain shuts off kind of because I'm in nature and it's just so calming, So that's why I like actually going, doing stuff outdoors. It's beneficial, so.
How has your daughter been a blessing to you in your life and helping you throughout?
Oh my God, you're making me cry.
Like, I'm gonna have to look away.
Crying's okay.
No, but words cannot express how much she means to me right now. She's been more beyond than the daughter that I could ever want.
Sure makes you happy.
Yes, she does. She's such a blessing. Definitely. We've been through a lot of stuff, but she's always been there for me.
How long has your daughter been helping you?
For 2 years. She's been doing it for 2 years. She does so much. She takes me to my doctor's appointments. She takes me shopping. Because my husband works all the time, so it's always me and her. And so, damn it. She helps me more than I could ever ask for. I would suggest that if you have HD in your family, find a support group. Go on to htsa.org. They are in charge of all the HD chapters in the United States. So that would be the best way for them to do that. If it wasn't for cannabis, I wouldn't be able to deal with my HD symptoms. They help me in a lot of ways that not even some of the pharmaceuticals do. Once again, my name is Desirae Collett, and thank you for letting me share my story.